President Obama is expected to begin the first troop withdrawals from Afghanistan at the end of July. That's this summer. And the variable that may have the greatest influence on the size of that reduction is the price tag of this war. These military operations this year alone have cost this government $113 billion. That's to put our men and women in the field over there. Next year it'll be about the same amount of money. Could the cost of this 10-year war force us to accelerate our exit strategy? This is a big question right now for Democratic Congressman Dennis Kucinich of Ohio. He's been a vocal opponent of this war. You know, Congressman, I agree with you on this fundamental issue. I wonder if the party has the cohesion, the unity to really fight this out and keep fighting to get us out of Afghanistan.
Well, I think we do. I think that we saw that at the Democratic National Committee a few months ago, and I also think that the vote on the amendment the other day that you spoke of earlier in the show is a good sign that the Democrats are closing ranks, recognizing that we just can't afford these wars and that we have to start paying attention to our domestic agenda.
This guy Karzai, what do you make of him? I mean, he's the guy who's heading the government over there. He's really all we got as a president over there. He was saying the other day, because some were killed in collateral damage, that he's saying that basically we're occupiers now. He's comparing us to the Soviets, like in Charlie Wilson's war. Is he an ally?
Well, the civilian casualties ought to be everyone's concern. But as far as Karzai, the biggest problem with Karzai is that he can't be trusted. His family's making money off of the U.S. presence. Drug trafficking has gone up in his country and from Afghanistan during the time of the United States occupation. And I think that, you know, Karzai's making a lot of money, and as long as he can try to call the shots for the United States, well, he's making a lot of money. That's what he'll do.
What do you make of the fact that some conservatives, I'm not sure in Congress, but some conservatives are joining your cause?
Well, I think that there is an awareness, both left and right, that America's reached its limits of our resources, not only in Afghanistan, but Iraq, and we may see the same thing in the vote that we're going to have tomorrow on Libya. There's a concern that with all of these problems here at home, debate over the debt limit, the idea of breaking the budget, the fact that the Pentagon consumes 50% of all discretionary spending. Here, you said it on your show. The Republicans are saying we don't even have money to take care of tornado victims in Joplin, Missouri. Well, if you see a situation like that, something's got to give somewhere, and I think it's going to go where the huge amounts of money are being spent, and that is on the wars. $10 billion a month in Afghanistan, $1 million per soldier per year. We telescope that out another 10 years. It's, you know, we've broken the bank already. It'll just be more reductions in domestic spending. Are
we going to hear your voice in Congress after this Congress? Are you going to be able to get his seat out in Seattle where you can, like in the British system? I'm with you. I'm a Churchill nut. He moved 5 different times, I think, different seats when he got beaten at different places. I'm all for trying the voters. You seem to represent, like, you know, philosophically, the people in Seattle I've gotten to know. Remember, Congressman Lowry was out there, and McDermott. You seem to be a good fit out there. Can you make that move and still be a congressman in Ohio, or will you be treated like LeBron James?
If I could only play basketball like him.
Well, they're mad at him for leaving, even if he wins the championship. So where are you on this?
I could just tell you that I haven't made any decisions about where to move. My district is bound to be affected in the redistricting. I don't know exactly where I'll end up at this point. I'd like to stay in Congress, but I'm not the only one who'll have a say on that, obviously.
The filing date, rather, the primary is in August 21st, 2012 in Washington State. When would you have to move out there to run?
Well, anyone who wants to run for Congress anywhere has to be mindful of when filing deadlines are, and you have to qualify first as a registered voter wherever you're going to run, and that's usually before the filing deadline. In any event, Chris,
can you be a congressman from Ohio and a registered voter in Washington State?
No, I haven't made a decision yet about a candidacy. But the answer to your question is no. No, that's not possible. Okay. You have to live in the area where you're running, and if you're running in an area, you have to be a registered voter. So I haven't crossed that bridge yet.
Let me make a promise to you. Should you make this incredible decision, we will be covering your campaign with enthusiasm. And that's
I appreciate
a fact.
that.
That's
Thank
a fact.
you so
I have
much.
some influence around here. I would find it a dandy proposition that somebody from the Democratic left could find another constituency which was just as hospitable to him, even if he was screwed by the legislature of his home state. Anyway, thank you, Congressman Dennis Kucinich, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming.